Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to walk you through how to make boba straight from your own kitchen using a few different teas that my wife just picked up for her store, believe it or not. The flavors we're going with are matcha, turmeric, and lavender, so let's dive in. First up, you need to make sure you have black pearl tapioca, which can easily be bought online or found in an oriental market. If you have one fairly close by, you're just gonna have to research that a little bit. But the product I'm using didn't really have much branding on it other than black tapioca pearl in English on the front, but it is readily available and very easily found online if you just type in boba, tapioca, or something of the like in most search bars. Anyways, you're gonna boil the boba for about 5 to 6 minutes or until the tapioca rises to the top and then finally settles to the bottom. Just make sure you turn the heat to low about halfway through the cooking process. They should be chewy and tender when done cooking. If they still have a little hard bit in the middle, continue cooking for another minute or two. But when all that is finished, scoop the boba out of the water into a separate bowl, and you're going to stir in the honey and brown sugar, then set it aside to cool down to around room temperature. Okay, so while the boba is cooling down a bit, it's time to steep the tea. So first up, I'm brewing a turmeric / black tea blend that has a spicy ginger flair to it that I really love. Then a really wonderful high quality matcha that's very buttery and just a really beautiful matcha tea. And finally, a tea called Queen Green that has a variety of jasmine, lavender, rose, and green tea in it. I'm sure all of you tea aficionados out there know this, but for those of you who don't, try to brew your tea in water that's between 170 degrees Fahrenheit and 190 degrees Fahrenheit if you can. Straight boiling water can tend to burn your tea, and it makes the flavor fairly bitter if you ask me. Steep everything for around 5 minutes for a really good flavor permeation throughout the tea, then cool the tea down before serving. So now that everything is basically ready to go, get the glasses and teas in order and scoop in a generous portion of the honey boba into each glass. Somewhere around 3 to 4 tablespoons is probably normal, but since you're making it at home, 5 is about where I'm currently at, so it's totally up to you. After that, you're gonna pour all the teas into the glasses and top it with ice. Finally, you're gonna pour in the milk or creamer product. Usually it's a half and half and sweetened condensed milk blend that most places add to milk tea boba. But here I'm going to use some good old-fashioned almond milk for a lighter textured drink. Give each a really good mix before drinking to even out some of the sweetness in the bottom, and it's time to enjoy. Alright, what's up guys? Okay, so the boba glory is done. The trio of boba flavors looks absolutely beautiful. I love the turmeric kind of yellow flare with a little bit of the black tea in there. Of course you have the beautiful green matcha and this jasmine, like rose, green tea, beautifulness from my wife's store, Pacific Time. Actually all these are from my wife's store and they're just a really beautiful tea selection. This is a beautiful ceremonial, like, you know, high-grade matcha tea. This is their turmeric blend, and this is the rose, jasmine, lavender, and green tea. And it's just like very floral. Anyways, it's a nice little medley of, you know, boba tea flavors. I feel like it's just gonna blend perfectly with that brown sugar boba. Anyways, let me stir them all up, kind of get that sweetness going. Unfortunately, I don't have a boba straw. I thought I did, so it's kind of sacrilegious to do this without the boba straw, but ain't nothing gonna stop me from trying my boba. This looks so good too, and I love the lavender garnish. I bought a bunch of lavender, planted it out in my front yard, and so I just have like just a ton of lavender. Beautiful. All right, let me taste it. Get some of that boba. Wow. Kind of like spicy. Obviously, it has that ginger in there. There's some black tea. There's actually a little bit of cayenne pepper in the mix, and I believe a little bit of clove that's on the packet, the little packet they have. Really beautiful medley of spices in there. I really love using turmeric in a lot of things now, especially for that yellow pop. Plus, it just gives a very unique, flavor that you can't get anywhere else other than turmeric. All right, let me try the matcha. And one more stir. Ooh. Beautiful green tea flavor, very high grade matcha. Again, another tea from my wife's shop, Pacific Time. Stellar, stellar flavor. Boba is the perfect consistency. Just a little chewy, super soft, tender, kind of like bouncy in your mouth, but squishy too. And it holds that honey flavor beautifully. All right, last but not least is this jasmine glory. And this is probably gonna be my favorite, or it's jasmine, lavender, green tea, and rose actually. I normally, let me take this out. This is the thing I order the most is like floral teas with boba, jasmine or lavender usually. So this is gonna be my favorite. Definitely, very floral, super floral. And it plays well with the honey and the boba, which is usually why I order it. It is still very, very delicious even if you don't have the boba straw. You can just use a spoon like I'm doing here. But these are killer. I love the kind of like gingery, turmeric, spicy type of tea going on here. This is very kind of like a buttery matcha, very strong green tea flavor. And of course, super floral, jasmine-y, and like flowery tea. All with almond milk, so these are all vegan to a certain extent other than the honey. I love making boba. It's definitely fun, especially if you buy it on Amazon or some online store. If you go to an Oriental market, they'll usually have it. So if you see like a dry pack of boba, grab it. It takes 5 or 6 minutes to cook, and it's just so much fun to play around with. Plus, you can customize the flavors exactly how you want, as opposed to having to deal with it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a big ol' like, comment down below for future video requests, things you want to see on my channel, maybe even more boba recipes. Make sure you check the description box for equipment links and the recipe behind all these, and I will see you guys next time with another recipe. Later.